Um, Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is, as the Kevin kindly introduced, this is Woo-sung from DAOL Asset Management. I'm head of the Global IB division in DAOL Asset Management. Before starting my presentation, I would like to say thank you, big thanks to the Marine Money, Mr. Lawrence and Kevin and Andrew to organize this wonderful event every year in beautiful city in Busan. So I have a big expectation every year to participate in this great event. This is a very good occasion to catch up with industry friends and partners every year. Also, I got some good insight and then some information sharing and where we need to heading for to survive and then maintain the competitiveness in my business. So I still remember that first time I joined the Marine Money conference held in the Seoul 16 years ago. I was just a junior guy for Korean shipping company in Korean shipping company, and I developed my career in banks. And then also after that, I moved to the Korean capital market. Now I'm build up the my maritime focused some portfolio, and then we believe that DAOL is now in unique position to manage and cover not only domestic but also international shipping and then maritime related to the infrastructure project. So I would like to make our presence more solid, and then would like to have a more chance to work together with some many partners going forward. So let's move to the so how to move the next slide? This one? Oh, okay, thank you. So let's move to my topic, green marine finance. Green marine finance is actually not a new topic. The last decade, green marine finance, green shipping is one of the key topics in this kind of conference. From this year, I realized that some quite different. So now green marine finance is just main topic and key topics all in conference. Last 3 days in marine finance weeks, all key speakers talked about the marine finance. So recently, thanks to the recovery of the shipping market during the pandemic season, I think the investor, even though individual, the public investors, also they had to start to more focus on and then getting interest in the maritime sector. And then many SNS, YouTuber, and then news media produce multiple and various kind of contents to explain the shipping market and then maritime sectors. So they mainly focus on the new opportunity in maritime industry because of new regulation. As you know, so we have a big, very aggressive and very challenging target by 2050, reduce the greenhouse gas, the emission almost 100%. It is very challenging, but that means also means the industry, especially maritime industry, require the big substantial capital demand. I think this is not the only issue for the maritime industry, but also associated industry, fuel supply, energy company, and then makers, steel makers. I think in order to achieve this target, this is only homework for the maritime industry. All relevant associated industry have to pursue on find the solution, and then that means we think that the requirement capital demand is substantial than we expected. In case of Korea, as you know, the maritime industry is very critical sector in South Korea economy, and then in that perspective, Korean government willing to support maritime industry to maintain the competitiveness in consideration of coming new regulation. That's why I think at this moment, many sovereign financial institutions like KDB, KOBC, KEXIM, KSure, or today's key partners, the Marine Money, they start to launch the new supporting program. For example, in case of KDB, they are launching the Smart Ocean Infra Fund program. So, however, as I mentioned, the required capital demand is very substantial. I don't believe only the support from the government and policymaker and sovereign financial the institution is not sufficient, and we believe without some engagement of support or interest of private sector, especially capital market, I think it is very hard to accommodate capital demand. So I would like to talk about the private finance market. As you can see in the chart, so the exposure and then investment size of alternative investment area is very substantially increasing last the 7 and 8 years. So even though sovereign financial institution, sovereign fund, MPS, KIC, in addition to the sovereign fund, private sector, Korean institutional investor, they are now required to allocate more capital, because even though traditionally they are more focusing on and allocated to their capital traditional investment sector, such as stock, derivatives, and bond. However, to accommodate it and enhance their required the return rate, they are now more allocated their resources and then the liquidity to the alternative investment area. So, however, in Korean private sector perspective, in Korean institutional investor perspective, the business environment is not the easy and then friendly, because interest rate is sharply increased from the last year. Also, FX rate is for the FX cost, hedging cost was also unfavorably increased. So that is a big challenge for the Korean institutional investor, make a more allocated capital. Also, during the pandemic, before the pandemic, Korean institutional investors, their overseas investment, especially real estate side, was substantial. However, during the pandemic, there was revaluation of the asset. Also, very hard to find cheap money, and then many projects failed to find refinancing the option. So now the Korean capital market was very struggling to manage the existing portfolio. But that's why I think traditionally they are allocated, in case of in alternative investment sector, they allocated real estate, infrastructure, shipping allocation is actually very small. But nowadays, Korean institutional investor start to more focus on the shipping sector, I believe it is very good positive development. And then in DAOL perspective, recently we got many contact from the investor who have not been exposed to the shipping sector. So DAOL, we would like to more encourage them to more focus on the maritime sector. And then they also realize that there is some big opportunity in the because of upcoming regulation. But one challenging point is, as mentioned, in institutional investor perspective, the main reason for allocated alternative investment area is to enhance their investment, the return rate. So if without some accommodation or satisfaction of their expected return rate, it is very hard to invite it and then some match it together with the sovereign fund to support the capital demand. So I think there is no nowadays Korean government, even sovereign finance institution, they are very keen to develop and then make some new investment scheme to how to engage the Korean private sector. So talking about like a tax benefit or another alternative idea. However, as you understand, it is not easy to and sometimes not feasible to only provide such a tax benefit in this industry. So in consideration of this challenging point, I think it is required it is not just some private investor issue. It is more necessary to engage all stakeholders of the maritime industry. So one of our DAOL is we have been providing investment solution to the maritime industry, especially Korean maritime industry so far. And then we are now in the planning and then contemplating to launching the it is not the former title, but DAOL Green Transition Fund, which basically provides some kind of framework and system to provide the investment benefit to all the stakeholder and then potential investor, which they invest in. So because to accommodate and compensate the gap of private sector's return rate, I think instead of some tax benefit or kind of a compensated scheme, we think that we need to develop and then create a new scheme and a new idea. Otherwise, not easy to proceed this to support industry. So the DAOL would like to communicate more frequently going forward with all all stakeholders of the industry and develop this scheme. So if we think that it successfully launched this kind of fund, and we believe we can successfully engage the private capital to accommodate huge opportunity in going forward. So thank you for listening, and then we are happy to discuss further after this presentation. Thank you.